So good morning, team. Good morning, participants. A warm welcome for you into the India Evaluation Case Competition for the year 2023. Okay. Today we will be going through and walk through of the India Evaluation Case Competition. Okay. So let's start. So these are the few instructions before proceeding further. That since we are using the virtual platform, so there might be some lag in between if some speakers will be talking or anything, any sites which or any details which we are showcasing, there might be a lag. And in case if you have any query, then you can put your queries in the chat section. We will address it at the later on when we will be having the Q&A sessions. To avoid any disturbances, we request everyone to kindly mute their microphones. And if you have any questions, you may raise your hand or you can add your questions in the chat session. We will address them at the later on. In case if you're logged out of the meeting due to some technical issues, you can immediately join in again, and we will again admit you in the room. If you have any question, you can, as I stated earlier, that you can put your questions in the chat section and we will address it. And we will walk through to the PPT where we have kept all the details in it. And post this session, we will be uploading our workshop recording on the website, as well as if you want any if you want the PPT as well. For today's session, there is no deck which will be which have any details. Has already the details which we will be going through is available on the website. So there is no need to share any PPT deck. Okay. So for the previous sessions which we had, there were some speakers and which they have taken all the participants through the topics, so they have prepared it, so that also you can find it out on our website. Okay, so let's move on to next. So Evaluate India. So Evaluate India was established in November 2020 by Evaluate Asia through its country capture projects, which is funded by the Evaluate Global Network. Evaluate India serves as an YE, Young and Emerging Evaluators, body of evaluation community of India, and aims to promote YEs, YEs, women and men, to become competent, experienced, and well-networked professionals who contribute to the evaluation capacity at national, regional, and international levels. So, EVA India plans to promote YEs, build their capacities, and expose them through networks to other evaluators to promote peer learning. If you want to be part of the Evaluate India, you can join in through the link which is shared earlier in the emails to the participants, or you can also reach out to us if you want to join Evaluate India. Next is our parent organization, which is Evaluation Community of India, ECOI, which is a function which functions as a professional community for promoting an evaluation culture in the country and foster policy making and programming planning, driven by evidence-based decision making with focus on social equity, gender equality, and sustainability. It's provide a platform for interaction and knowledge and experience sharing within evaluation community and other stakeholders in development to ensure that professionalism, quality, and ethics permeate all evaluations and to make them utility oriented. Okay. Evaluation Community of India also conducts various workshop. Then they organize various events to boost the evaluation networking within the country, and as well as some international events as well. And they do run some boot camps to to create awareness and as well as provide knowledge about the monitoring and evaluation. Let's move on to next. So about India Evaluation Case Competition. Yeah, it is a national level case competition, which is started by Evaluation Community of India in the year 2021. Okay, And in this competition, students from institutions as well as universities, they can form a team of 4 to 5 students, and they can participate in this event. On the day of event, which is of 6th August, which is Sunday, the team will receive an case over an email with the submission form as well. Okay, and you will get a time span of 7 hours, like 10 to 5, and post that, once you have submitted your cases, there are a panel of juries who will validate the submissions over a period of few days. Okay, and they will provide you the feedbacks as well as the marks as per the criteria, which we will be going to look into a couple of minutes later on. Okay. And as well as there are a couple of workshop we have conducted previously to this our orientation workshop of the IECC. You can go through that workshop. You will get better knowledge about the monitoring and evaluation and the case study. As previous workshop we had is about an careers in MNE, and the first workshop we had for this year, it was an what is monitoring and evaluation. Okay, it's a basic workshop, and which is driven by Dr. Prabhu. So please have a look into that workshop. You can find all the workshop recordings on the website in the workshop sections, and as well as the deck is also uploaded, so you can go through that. Okay. And once you are submitted, and once the results are out, the winning team will get a chance to represent India at the World Evaluation Case Competition, which is going to happen in November 2023. It will be an virtual competition as well, where there are couple of countries which had country chapters like us, like as evaluate Asia is the chapter which has from which the evaluate India is created. And as evaluate India, this is a flagship event, so you will get an chance to represent India at World Evaluation Case Competition. And other country chapters has also whoever has the case competition conducted by that country chapter. From there also the winning team will be going to be there in the World Evaluation Case Competition. So that's it from my side, team. Over to you, Vishal sir. I think 1 minute. I have to walk you through
Also,
the
yeah,
workshop.
walk them through the resources in the website, then I'll
Yes,
take.
yes. Yeah, sure, sure. So team, you can find the, as I stated, that you can find the recordings on the website in the workshop section. So this is our website. You can find the deck at this link, and the recording in the workshop recording.
We
Okay.
can't see the website. Are others being able to see that?
I think no. Yeah, 1 minute. Let me. Is my screen visible?
Yes, visible now.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So this is our website, and which is http www.evalcasecomp.in. Okay, and in the workshop section you can find the recording as well as the deck, which is available for both the workshops. And for these workshops also, it will be uploaded in this section. Then we have the competition rules section, where you will get to know about the rules of and criteria, eligibility criteria of the India Evaluation Case Competition. And then as well as what is the qualification criteria, and the rules deck is also available here. It will take you to the Google Drive, where we have uploaded the rules. We can go through that, as well as Dr. Biswes sir will be going through going to take you through the rules, and if you have queries we can address it, right? Then we have the resources section where you will find the last year's winning teams case competitions, like first winning competition, which the team circles which have been the winner for the ICC 22. Their case file is also available, which will be Mr. Harish will be going to take you through the last year case. Then you can find the other two winners as well, the second runner-up and the first runner-up. Then for ICC 21 as well, you can find the winning team case file, and as well as the first and second runner-up case files. And here you can find the request for proposal, which was for the ICC 21 and as well as ICC 22. Okay. Then here are some of the resources which will help you learn more about the monitoring and evaluation. These are the topics, what are the graphical representation of the monitoring and evaluation, then M&E stakeholder engagement activities, then M&E notes. This is the DMU sample guidelines related to the M&E. Then then SWOT analysis in the monitoring and evaluation domain. Then monitoring and evaluation strategy. What is theory of change in evaluation, which is a very important thing in the monitoring and evaluation. Then you can also find the more resources related to monitoring and evaluation, which will be in the Excel format. Okay, you can find it. And as well as these are some workshops which we have conducted in the our in the initial year of India evaluation case competition. Okay, then over to you, Vishwesh sir.
Thank you, Abhishek. Yeah, let me just share, give me a minute, I'll share my screen.
Sure. Yes, sir, it's visible now.
Is visible. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abhishek, and welcome you all to this interesting competition that will lead you to the participation in World Evaluation Case Competition. So I think before I take you through the rules of this competition, so since all of you are new to this domain, like either somebody could be a practitioner of M&E monitoring and evaluation, or they are just passionate about this field and trying to contribute to this field, or it could be a purpose for academic learning and career building as well. So I think each of us also come from different diverse background in terms of professional expertise, and also with the common goal of capacity building, we have teamed up together and formed Evaluate India. And since then, since last 3 years, we are doing great. So what is monitoring and evaluation? So monitoring is nothing that we also do in our everyday life, which is trying to doing a continuous process which is happening on different aspects. And evaluation is also very simple as to doing an assessment. So we have to do it periodically, be it doing our career path, doing our academics, or even for that matter, whatever we are doing or planning, that needs monitoring and evaluation. So this is, unfortunately, this is not, this has become a practice, a specialized practice, and very few institutions are teaching this subject. Probably maybe one in Hyderabad and few others in India who are just touching upon the monitoring and evaluation as a course, but it is not being provided as a curriculum to any of the institutions so far in India. Though in the far west, it is being taught in the institutions. And most leading countries who are developing evaluation as a subject is our neighboring country, Sri Lanka. They have gone far ahead than us. So the basic purpose of our network together is building the capacity of the youth who are below 35 years of age and have less than 5 years of experience, from freshers to less than 5 years of experience in this field. So this specialized field has a term which we call abbreviated as M&E, monitoring and evaluation. So now, so what are we going to do or check and validate, and what you should not do is something I'm going to run you through this rule. So it starts with as kindly admit Harish, please. Abhishek, please admit Harish.
Yes, sir.
Give him co-host rights here. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
So the process will start maybe 10 minutes before to 10 on 6th of August, 10 a.m. So where you will receive an email with the request for proposal document. That is the case study document that you will be receiving. This time our partner is Dev Solution, a private company who are dealing with social sector aspects for developing the social sector aspects in the society, and also working on projects related to. So we'll also make the announcement of the case at the end of the session before we end the session. So you will be receiving this RFP. So you'll have to read spend a good amount of time reading it, and then probably on an average of 20 or 25 pages, you will make a report in response to this RFP with the structured guideline that I'll be also talking about. So this will be only in English, and as Abhishek mentioned, you will get a full time length of 7 hours on 6th August from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. in the same day, and we request all to complete it within that time, and also submit through the Google form or the email that is mentioned on the virtual section of this document. So if for any delays, there will be penalty which will be calculated per hour of delay, and mostly allowed delay due to some reasons which will be communicated, which could be technical issues while coordinating and communicating while doing the case study as a team, being in different locations maybe. So we can allow a 15 minutes acceptance beyond this time of 5 p.m. But you need to ensure that you send out an email that due to this particular reason, you are unable to submit within the 5 p.m. timeline. So as I mentioned, you'll receive a Google link through which you will make the submission of your proposal, which is the kind of a report that will come out from the study that you make and the analysis that you present in your document. You could also use the email method if you have difficulty in using the Google form and the submission. So on anonymity, you need to be careful that we would not allow. Can you admit Bhumika, please? So you will not be allowed to submit write your names. It will be only team names. You are not allowed to write the institution names, nor your own names, nor any other information that could possibly reveal your identity. So you will only have to write your team name in your document and nothing else, and address all the sections that are required. And make sure it definitely appears on the first page. And if you can have a footer page where your team name is there, that will be great. So you are allowed to access your internet for your coordination for the submission. I don't think you will have time to browse through internet for doing this task or the response to the case study. So don't try doing that. If you do that, you will probably not be able to submit on time, and there could be a chaos in terms of coordination. So just be cool, calm, and make sure you read it well, and coordinate well. So, and divide your task among the 4 or 5 members and consolidate at the end. So you could divide chapters, you could divide uh, other work areas and coordinate that. So most important on them will be where your time will be most taken is designing the TOC, which we call theory of change, which is the premise of the evaluation process design. And then the other time taken will be on the logical frame diagram. If you have gone through them, that's fine, or else you in these few days of 10 days, you can access the resources that are provided that Abhishek just showed all of you. Have a read to have an understanding, but be innovative, make your own thinking innovatively to design that. So, and also this is not an exam. This is more for your learning, which is in the form of a case study learning, for which you are responding to the case study. Nor even this is a thesis like that you'll have to compile a huge number of pages of research or and research output kind of thing. So and you should also refrain from having any connect with evaluate team or our organizing team or our partner, ECOI, or even for that matter to the juries who are associated with us. If even you are somehow connected, do not make an effort to connect with them. I'm sure if you do, there will be the same response from their side. And also avoid copy paste or taking some content from other sources in the public domain of the internet. So please refrain from that. As you know, there are several checks that could be done by the assessor who could find out. So this will all cause negative markings. So please don't do those things. And on the submission, you'll have to provide a PDF, a text file. You'll have to provide both a text file and a PDF file, so that it is ensured that your submission is done properly. And make sure you just name your file with the team name. So we will understand this team has provided this proposal in response to the case RFP that we have given. And make sure you number them, number the pages. At times people miss that out in rush, but all these things you could organize yourself from the beginning. Creating the template, you can task creating the template for the report to a team member who works on that and creates certain sections to save time. And then respective other team can do research while you are doing the coordination in those 7 hours. Then if there are any, as I mentioned earlier, if there are any communication issues or connectivity issues or power outage or any other form of difficulties which are quite genuine, you could email us for providing, for understanding them, and make sure, even if it has to be informed prior to the end time. And for that, probably we will, as I mentioned, we will give you a delay time of 15 minutes, not beyond that. For any submission beyond that time, an hour will be calculated internally by us and while doing the preliminary level 1 screening, and there will be negative marking on that. So there will be 2 stages of screening. So one level of screening will be done by a committee formed by us from the organizing committee, who will read the RFP and make sure they are in order of the requirement, and if submissions are done on time and there is no obvious disclosure of other things that are not required, which we should refrain from. So all these will cause for negative marking. So once the level 1 screening is done, then it goes out of our system, as in Evaluate and our partners. So it goes to independent juries who are very diverse and expertise in this field. You can have their get to know their profile details in the website. So what they will do is and we will be sharing internally. We will be sharing with them an assessment sheet, which they will work on that and review the proposal that you have shared, and there will be scores which I'll come to them explain you in more detail in a section below. So for the by standard practice over the last 3 years, we have been declaring 3 winners, the first, second, and the third. And the last year we had to declare 4 winners because there was a tie of same position. So we selected 4 teams last time as winners. So beyond this, as we explained, so the first winner will only get the chance to enter into the World Evaluation Case competition in November. And our team, after this process of assessment and results are announced, then our team will connect with the winning team and provide them handholding and guidance on how they'll take it forward with the case competition. Now, on the submissions, while you are preparing the report, these are some sections which you could internally distribute among yourself to so that you could save time. As I mentioned, this section probably will take most of your valuable time, and then designing the I think this whole thing will take some time. So as a structure for making it easier for the jury panel for deriving the scores, so you need to structure your document in this group as it is mentioned here. What I mean is you can have a short note on the sector, which you may call introduction, you may call background, as you wish to, as you write in other forms of reports. Then you should ideally provide a background note on the project, the problem statement, or the purpose as you think is necessary. Then the log frame matrix, and the theory of change diagram, and how the connectivity is established among this in the design while you are designing the evaluation process. And the next section should be on the indicators, and they should be measurable. And for those which you are unable to measure, you need to write how you are going to address them. Just excuse me for a minute. I got a knock. And so how you will understand about measurable indicators, there are sources which you can read about that. They have smart measurable indicators. You will have an idea how you could use them in the context of the case study. And you should also, the whole process of evaluation is also designing a questionnaire for asking the questions to the program implementers or the managers or the field staff. So you need to think through how should you pose your question to get the right answer. So there's always a skill in asking the proper question in the right way. I'm sure you will also learn in this process. And The report should also have a monitoring plan. Okay, now how do you differentiate, which I explained to you all while starting the discussion? The monitoring plan essentially will be, for example, there is a program which is being implemented maybe at your institution, that you are doing a fest that you are planning at your institution. So how are you going to monitor the fest in terms of what are the activities that you are going to do, how they should be done on time that you have designed, and what are the resources that build up to do these. So basically, it will be a continuous process for those 1 month or the pre-event and event and post-event activities. Similar is the case will be for your case study that you will visit. So it will be a continuous process. And when we talk about evaluation, we need to make sure you need to think through as if you are going to assess each of them and present the outcomes that is derived. For your case as a FEST, the outcome would be that you successfully implemented the FEST, and there is a follow-up, and there is a learning process, lessons learned likewise. So make sure when you design these plans, you should have data collection methods, how you're going to address them. If there are any risks, how you're going to mitigate them, and how you're going to consult with the identified stakeholders of the program or the activity or the task that you're doing, and essentially should also have a timeline. So this all, I think, for all the resources we have mentioned here, it will be circulated before 10 days. But for you don't waste those the coming 10 to 12 days. You can start reading them from the website, and we have put all the resources there that are essential for your learning and addressing the thinking for the question. And as I mentioned earlier, the jury panel would not connect with you, and you as a team or as an individual from the team, please don't try connecting with them. If even you know few of them after you read their profile, so this will also be considered as a penalty from the process. So now this is the most important section for you to understand. So there are 4 categories based on which the assessment will be carried out for each proposal that is received by us, by our team for level 1, and for jury panel for the level 2. So contextually, situational analysis, what do we mean by that? So what happens is, so please ignore the sector as agriculture. This year it will be a different sector, which will be for child, like child welfare and stop abuse. So, so what you have to do is you have to understand through the contextual reading, and you will also understand the sectoral things happening around that particular area, and the problem statement, how it is impact, how the problems are being caused, how they are being addressed in India if the case study is from here, and how they are being looked at present, even if by the government or the institutions or the NGOs or the civil societies working around. And also understand in totality of the project case and the key elements of that, where like how this was developed as a program, and what all outcomes were envisaged from this program, how these impacts occurred over the length of time, short term, whether they were short term or long term impacts from over a period of time. So then the next would be, as I mentioned earlier, there are the entire section belongs to this from here till the end. This is the section where how you have logically understood the case and how you have related designing the theory of change and developed the framework logic module based on and how you have uh, designed in a manner that they're interlinked and you get results out of it. So follow DAC principles and methods for the smart indicators, and also follow the criteria-based evaluation question methods which are available using this and evaluation. As I mentioned, evaluation plan and monitoring plan should be part of the document, and also make sure you also look at the equity, inclusiveness, gender equity, and sustainability of the entire project that is being discussed through a case study. And if you identify any other recommendations or challenges that you like to highlight, your or any other interesting things that you would like to share in the form of the report, make sure that do not go beyond maybe 1 or 2 pages. So present them as a recommendation towards them. And the other parameter is effectiveness of the presentation, understanding of the case. Once you understand it better, you will be able to present it better in the context of the structure that we discussed. And for each of these are 4 broad sections based on which assessment will be done. And then under these sub-components, each highest mark is 10. And the only for one particular section which carries, where you need to actually devote good time, so which has 20 marks. So 10 for each. For the matrix logic model, you have 10. We'll have 10 as a high score, and for theory of change, it will be 10. And the markings indicative of 8 to 10, excellent, 5 to 7, good, 1 to 6. So these are just indicative, don't go by these numbers. So jury will be doing the final marking. We have no role to play in that. So whatever we receive from them, we'll take that as a final input and do the sorting in terms of the finding the top. Thank you very much. I would like to hand over to my colleague, Harish, who takes care of partnerships. He will walk you through give a brief overview on the last year's case and also share the theme of the case. Thank you. Over to you, Abhishek. I'll just stop here.
Thank you, Vishwesh sir, for a wonderful information. Okay. So, Harish, are you there?
Yes, Abhishek, am I audible?
Yes, Harish, you are audible. Yeah, I have added you as a co-host. Please take control and share your screen.
Yes. Hello, everyone. So before going further, brief about myself. I am Harish. I'm currently working as the project manager at Quality Council of India. I'm also co-leader partnerships for Evolve India, who organizes this competition every year. So last year when I was a student, I also participated in this competition, and so that is the reason. So why I come today to just explain what are the different things that we incorporate in our reports, and what are the other things, what else you can do to make your answer different, like make your answer really outstanding when it comes to competition. And also, like I'm pretty much sure already it has been mentioned that this competition also plays a great role for your own career opportunities also, because the winners of this competition gets to represent India in the World Evaluation Case Competition, which is very prestigious and will be held in November every year. So each country, only one team usually go participate in that competition. It's quite prestigious. It's you know it, having that name on your CV would add a great value addition in terms of your job search or a future course. And you get to network with various people in the field of monitoring and evaluation. The international stage would actually show great limelight on. It also opens new avenues for you on the in the future course of action. So having said that, I just want to explain you what are the, like, I'm pretty much sure you might have already viewed the website of India Evolution Case Competition. So this is the third leg of the competition. We have been doing it since last 2 years, 2020, 2021. Sorry, 2021, 22, and this is the third one, 2023. So if you look into our website, which have a proper, which we every year we keep on, keeping the all the top 5 competition winners case studies, and also the case study questionnaire itself. The idea of the competition is not just to not just find out the best talent in the evaluation case competition, but also to make sure the people also who participate learn during the course of participation. So I'll just share my screen and show you what are the different opportunities or different things that we share in our website. Abhishek, is my screen visible?
Yes, Harish.
Yeah. So as you can see in my screen, so this is the website of evaluation case, India Evaluation Case Competition, where we keep on updating every year's targets, social media handles, and various other things. You have resources, as you can see here. The resources has a curated list of winning teams, first 3 teams case files, and also the resources for you to prepare, like for example, DMO, sampling guidelines, SWOT analysis, M&D strategy, theory of change, etc. So these are great resources for you to understand and dwell upon, increase your language, increase your skills, etc. So apart from that, we also have workshops being done, like all the recordings of the workshop. For example, if you see, these are the workshop for this year, where you can see workshop 1 and 2, and the recordings, PPTs are available over here. So you can also see the competition rules, the jury member details, etc. So this could be a great networking opportunity also, because we also include all the team leaders in a WhatsApp group where you get to understand what are the other people, what are the different opportunities that are out there, and you can utilize the platform to discuss evolution theory, evolution resources, what are the different any other competitions, job opportunities in this field, etc. Also, the development solutions is one of the prominent private firm in the field of M&D, and they also are looking up for young talent for their own internship and employment opportunities. So the winners or the teams that submit valuable reports this time can get to network with the firm, and also might also lead to some internship opportunities or any job opportunities based on their this thing. Apart from that, I can also so the idea of this now is, if you can see in the resources, we have the, like for example, for the IECC 2021 this thing, if you see the team Umang of IIM Bangalore were the winners. The case file, if you see, so basically we ask you to submit a RFP, request for proposal. So the client, you are supposed to be a consultants, and the client, we are the clients with respect to the competition. The competition will give you a case study, and we want you to come up with a framework on how you're going to evaluate that. So you need to take this seriously and make some reports. Like for example, there will be a level 1 screening just to understand your understanding on SDGs and etc. Apart from that, so the level 2 would be the M&D proposal. So if you see, there is again, this entirely subject to, there is no one standard format for the answers. So the idea is to convey to the client how well you're going to execute the work, and what are your plans, what are the different risks that you're included, what is your time frame, what is your analysis, what is your evaluation framework, what is the theory of change, etc. So, what kind of analysis you could be doing? SWOT analysis. You could be doing, various case studies, case study reporting, etc. But the end, the report has to convey to the client how well you want to execute the work. Like for example, this report, if you see, the program is CLAP, which is climate change. I forgot the full name, but it has to do with agriculture and climate change. And Save Farm India is like the firm, the name of this client. So they produced a RFP, request for proposal, where the Umang solution is the client. So they have a letter, and attached to that is the annexure where a small introduction again about the project. Then they did a stakeholder analysis, log frame, theory of change, research framework, M&A plan, etc. So again, don't go by this format. The idea is make sure you understand every other thing. Like for example, I have shown what the first team did. Let us assume I want to show you how the third team has done. From IRMA. So they took a different approach. They don't do the SWOT analysis. They might have done some other analysis. Like for example, these guys have the climate change and agriculture program. So they went with some photographs. They did again log metrics. That again they explain how they're going to do data collection, sources for data, stakeholders, what type of evaluation they're going to take, type of this is this thing, etc. So I'll tell you what my own experience was during the last year. When during the competition, what happens is we only have 7 hours, and you'll need to come up with where you need to make sure you convey everything. So we use infographics a lot, because this one small paper with a lot of infographics will help us understand a lot of things than the matter itself. So that also gives added advantage to your answers. Like again, the research framework, you can use the OECD, DAC criteria framework, smart indicators, etc. Make sure you give the sources for the indicator, how you're gonna challenge that, and the risk analysis. They also give challenges and mitigations, etc. Again, it has to be referenced like any other reports. You'll like I'm pretty much sure during the college assignments and everything, you'll know how to reference all the topics that you're covering, what are the different aspects that you do, and etc. Again, as I said, there is no one right answer, and the idea is you read those documents, make your own framework, understand which case what type of this thing is required, etc. Like for example, this is the last year's where they choose a name called Swarkles, and they submitted Ahani. Yeah, Ahani is the client back then. So it's about nutrition and healthcare. So they again made a pest analysis. See, as I said, they keeps on changes. So it depends on how well you wanna use that. Like for example, these the last year they went for it photographs. They're good. So you can use Canva. You can use various latest softwares, etc. The report, and then there is no font size, there is no final format, etc. The idea is you take it as much as creativity and convey your ideas to the client. Like for example, in the pestle frame analysis, yes, you can see they have done the they have mapped the stakeholders, they mapped the existing political, economic, social, technological, and legal environmental challenges, that externalities that has to be faced during the project, this thing, etc. And also there, you can use the stakeholders mapping, what is their impact on in the, again, the log frame, which is the most important, inputs, activities, indicators, outputs, outcomes, and final impact. As you can see, the report has very less text, more infographics and designs and etc. So you then it's your competition, it's your team. You have to plan your time. You have to make sure you submit etc. We also give like resources for this, like we give a graphical facilitation guide. Maybe you can just give it a glance and understand what type of infographics you can use for your data, and etc. So yeah, that's with respect to the website and the resources that we keep updating here. You can also come back, refer to this whenever you feel like it's for your own usage. We also have the so one more important thing is the idea is to also network. So you can see people of jury. We have updated people who are going to correct the answers. It's not for you to just go and meet them over LinkedIn or something, but to understand, like look into their work, look into the things that they are famous. Like for example, you can see Dr. Prabhu. He is doctorate in demography, and he's an analysis, and he is an expert in MIS and various research tools. So while answering your answer, maybe you can concentrate on how you utilize how you mention the data collection techniques and various other things. Like for example, Akanksha is an expert in urban affairs, and she's with NIUA, and she has a expert experience in evaluating infrastructure. So in the case study, you can incorporate certain aspects where you feel like will add value to your answer, and ultimately this the jury is the one who corrects your answer, and will get points allocated accordingly. um so yeah, I think that's pretty much my side. Abhishek, Abhishek, is there anything else I need to cover?
Uh, I think no, Harish.
Is the theme for this year been conveyed, right?
Yes, yes, it has been conveyed and even posted on the social media platforms.
Yeah, Abhishek, we are announcing the case study, right?
Yeah, yeah. So the case
Harish,
study.
could you announce that from your discussions with Dev Solutions? Yeah, and
So,
give a little background of them.
So the background is basically they just conveyed the theme for this year. The case study will receive once during the course of time, but it's entirely, as you can see from the case study. Just a minute. Yes. So the case study is online child sexual exploitation and abuse. So the participants are supposed to make an M&D framework, and the client would request them to, provide them details like the problem that they are facing currently and how to evaluate their activity. So there will be an intervention from the client. It can be any grant making, international grant making organization where they want to tackle the issue of online child sexual exploitation and abuse. So the participants are supposed to, research some digital India, digital initiatives, understand data privacy laws in India, and also what are the case studies that are happened around what problems already faced, and also the internationally how EU or other Western countries are tackling this issue, and incorporate what are the indicators to actually fight this problem. Like it can be any based on the like GDPR guidelines. They can utilize the latest GDPR guidelines, and also the issue of accessing like websites that are like that have pornographic content, which are and also the VPN problem, etc. So it's entirely subjective, as I said, and the participants can come up with their own frameworks, but the questionnaire would include the problem of this online child sexual exploitation and abuse, and they give us the locality, like which state the problem is based, what is the government wants to do, what is the grant making organization, what is the intervention they're trying to do, and how do you evaluate whether this intervention would achieve its intended outcomes or not. Abhishek, that's all from me.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Harish. Uh, Bisway sir, would you like to add some points for the students?
No, I think we have now walked them through the details. I guess we can take up questions from them. Then
Sure,
we
sure,
can close.
sure, sure. Okay then. Thank you so much, our IECC team, and as well as participating students for joining in for the session. Uh, if you have any questions, please let us know. You can raise your hands, and you can unmute yourselves, and we will address it. Any questions, participants? Okay. Biswa sir, I think there are no questions so far. So team has a concluding point. I would like everyone, if you are okay with it, you can turn on your cameras so we can take a group photo for our social media. Uh, if you are fine, can we take it, or is anyone else would like to come on video?